The Joey Aguilar and Nico Iamaleava saga is just phenomenal. The gift that keeps on giving to us as college football fans in the month of May. Not phenomenal for the sport necessarily as a overall headline. No one's a fan of the way that whole thing shook out. But what I will say is we're at the point now where, so what's next? The drama is essentially behind us. Nico's at UCLA. Joey's at Tennessee. Both missed spring practice. What's it going to take for them to be successful? Maybe the better question is, what is success for both these guys at their individual news stops? We'll unpack it right now. Make sure you're locked in now. Make sure you are subscribed. This is College Football Nothing But. Tennessee fans, make sure you're locked here. We're going to talk a lot about your Vols. UCLA fans, if you want more UCLA content, subscribe and let us know. Appreciate y'all for that. Okay, so let's start with Joey Aguilar because I think his situation to me is the most complex of this whole thing. I think the task in front of him with missing spring practice is, can you get up to speed in the Josh Heupel offense? And that sounds like sort of a simple thing to say, but I mean, the way they run things, it's not going to be an experience thing for Joey Aguilar playing college football. He's done that at a high level. I mean, at App State, he's got the single-season record for passing touchdowns, total offense, passing yards, all those things. That's great. But with Tennessee's offense, it's a very different beast. They're running a play like every 25, 30 seconds. You got to be all the way dialed into what we're doing here. And so the task for him, I think, in being dialed into that offense, I need him to be the sniper. I don't need you to take over. I don't need you to run around with the Superman cape on, but I do need you to, when Josh Heupel schemes some guys open, we hit on those open shots. Something Nico, quite frankly, wasn't that awesome at last year. Like the task ahead of him with their expectations being a college football playoff berth at Tennessee, based on what last year was, it's more fair because you're not trying to walk into shoes where the guy was a first-team All-American, first-team All-SEC. Like, I don't need Aguilar to be Hendon Hooker for Tennessee to have success next year. Now, again, that's assuming that the Tennessee defense doesn't have some massive drop off the face of a cliff. I do think, though, if you're a Tennessee fan, there is some understanding, though, of your situation here. Like, Joey Aguilar, he can't be responsible for receivers getting open. He's got to be responsible for hitting them when they're open. But I do think it's kind of like whenever you bring a quarterback in after spring practice, you're starting your paper the night before. You are. So what you're going to lose in terms of quality and maybe knowledge of the subject, you got to make up for in word count. You got to make up for in some other way. Maybe it's using more flowery language, maybe a little bit more verbose across this thing. I don't know what it looks like. I don't. But I do think now you understand, hey, Joey Aguilar, we're not going to have the same expectations we had for you of a guy who's been in the system now for a year, let alone having a full spring practice. It's got to fall on Josh Heupel here to dial up some winners for these receivers to get open. So that's my opinion on this. We'll get to success here for him in a second. Let's go to Nico. The climb in front of him is a little bit more simplistic in the sense that Nico is walking into a situation that scored less than 20 points a game, and he is right away the most talented individual from a rating perspective on the roster. Not just the quarterback room, on the entire roster. And so success for UCLA in 2025 will go as Nico goes. Like, if you're Nico, can you go be the 5-star you were billed as a recruit, brother? That's really the question here. Because, UCLA, their over-under win total right now is 5.5. We're not asking UCLA to go make the college football playoff. We're asking UCLA, can you raise the floor a little bit here? I don't think you're beating Ohio State or Penn State. That's not what we're asking. Can you go beat, the Marylands of the world? Can you go beat the Michigan States of the world, the Washingtons of the world? That's what I'm asking for. So, success for Nico, you inherit a car with 2 flat tires, go win 8 games. Dude, if Nico wins 8 games in Westwood, clap it up for Deshaun Foster. They'll play that opening press conference for him at Big Ten Media Days as a soundtrack to UCLA greatness, dude. They'll remix it, put it in a highlight video. It'll be awesome. It'll be awesome. The bar isn't set enormously high with what they are in UCLA this upcoming year. It's all about, can you reestablish the floor, get UCLA to be an 8-ish win team is my question for the Bruins here in 2025. Now, Joey Aguilar, like we said, what you inherit is different. Is it a used car? Yeah. Is it a perfect situation? No. But is it good enough to get to the point you want to get to? I think so. I really do. I think Deshaun Bishop is good enough, the running back for them. Is he Dylan Sampson? No, but I think he's got enough production there. I think Josh Heupel's good enough. I think your defense talent level is maybe not the same with what it was with James Pierce, but I do think it's still pretty deep enough in the SEC at least with that schedule. Success for them is, can you make the playoff, and then cherry on top is, can you go win a game in the playoff? I really think so. And it'd be different if you were walking in with like a true freshman or a quarterback who had never played a la Jake Merklinger. Joey Aguilar's got some real, again, sample size to point to and say, this is how good he can be. This is what he brings to the table here. So for Tennessee, it really is about, can you get to a point where the pieces around Joey Aguilar are stable enough to allow him to do what he does? And then Joey Aguilar, can you hit the open shots, just like we said a second ago? Hit the vertical throws. Don't give the ball away. Tennessee should win a lot of football games. I really believe that. So when we decide who won this trade at the end, let's be careful not to just do the apples to apples. Well, UCLA, they won 8 games. Tennessee, they won 9 games. Tennessee won the trade, right? I don't know. I don't know if that's the case. Now, if UCLA misses a bowl game and Tennessee makes the playoff again, then I think we have our answer there. But that's where I see this whole thing trending, man. The Joey Aguilar versus Nico Iamaleava trade will be tracked, I'm sure, throughout the rest of the season. Will definitely be tracked over here. But different tasks, different expectations, different definitions of success from what I can gather when it comes to 2025 for UCLA and Tennessee alike.